would feel equitable about them.
Yes, but I think the value ought to go into it somewhat.
We're just saying, Dad, that that's secondary,
Yeah.
potentially.
Right.
This, anybody doing this?
Oh, yeah.
We all, there's certain things that we all have our eye on because of sentimental value that we grew up with it.
Yeah, and
So,
You got somebody who does a good job of polishing your silver back.
What's her name does it?
Yeah.
Mauritia. This is made in France. It doesn't say it's sterling. This, Mother did, as you know, and she did this.
mm-hmm.
Probably that tray as well, and that wine.
Yeah, I'll be able to go through into,
in this wastebasket.
yeah.
So I'd like some of that stuff.
It's amazing she was a detail person. I mean, this was an enormous amount of work. I mean, you gotta put them all on there, and then to keep it, as smooth as a baby's ass, just polish and polish and polish and polish and polish.
Decoupage, right?
Uh-huh.
And this is our wedding set. However, and whether you want that or sell it, this on the bottom says 1800. That's a Paul Revere type. I don't know if Paul Revere did it or not, but it's a creamer or whatever, and it's from 1800.
I would just guess that none of the silver would get sold, that the silver would all, at some point, be, we'd be here, we'd divide it up, and we would take it home.
Yeah. And
this I don't think means anything. If it does, it's lost in the eons of time.
LC? Yeah.
No, this is Baxter Sibs.
Okay, so that's the silver set. So we actually have two silver services.
What's the other one?
The one that we found in the back that was Grandma Connie's. It had CF on it.
Oh, yeah. ACB.
Yeah.
And these go with the little salt and sugar type of things. This,
Probably much steadier and know what the heck you're doing.
that says, looks like a D, I don't know. And this is Reed Martin.
Yeah. And there's lots of silver shakers. I mean, it might end up being that not everybody wants every piece of silver in here, but that there's serving dishes, the silver chafing dishes are in here. All of these kinds of things
Yeah.
that,
So now more complicated. Is the dining set not to go?
well, I like the dining set.
You think you're gonna camp anywhere?
Well, we're acquiring properties.
Yeah, but you're gonna sell them, aren't you?
Well, who knows? I mean, we're definitely into owning houses, and so.
Well, this will offset a lot of value for some of this other stuff, because I think this would appraise pretty high.
this is beautiful furniture.
In here,
This is the silver,
so this is,
yours and Mom's.
yes. And this is it's all Craftsman, right? That's the Craftsman design.
That's it, but it's, I believe it's, can't remember. Yeah.
But then we get into this, which is CF. This is my mother's. And this is 1912, 1909, 1912. See, somebody gave her these things on her birthdays. 1913, 1914, 1903, 1907. So that's 100 years old.
Well, I don't know about anybody else. I have my own sterling silver things, and I have some older family stuff that Mom gave me years and years and years ago. Because I didn't have a full place setting. Mine actually works not badly with these, but these have a lot of Allie's initials on them, and it might be good for a grandkid, for this eventually to pass to a grandkid who doesn't have their own sterling silver. It would be an idea.
These here, I think,
you know.
are family heirlooms you don't use, you just store.
Oh, soup spoons are good though.
Yeah, you can use them.
Oh, yeah, they don't. These,
Yeah.
This is my mother's birthday spoon, 1890, Constance, 1896.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nothing.
Do you guys have any attachments to the birthday spoon or the, I mean, any of those?
I mean, I guess my would be not to anything in particular, but again, I think that serving pieces, I mean, obviously the flatware or the
Mm-hmm.
nice forks and spoons ought to go as a set, but the other serving spoons and things like that, we just would divide up.
Steak knives. This is 1887. And the full set of this is not around. And I'm sure this is French history.
What about the,
This is apparently, this is JLB, this is not me, this is apparently my father's birthday spoon.
so we can each have one.
So if we can perhaps divide up some of the more heirloom stuff amongst us and see who might use the silver when the time comes. I do use silver, well, not lately, but I used to use the silver every week, almost for every day.
Okay.
Yeah, use it.
So
I don't believe in
this
just
is
putting
more
stuff
of
in
a
the
set.
thing.
This is, you
Yeah,
know,
the serving pieces. So back, divide this, what are you saying? Divide the serving pieces amongst us as
Well,
well?
one thing I was just wondering, as far as the gun collection is concerned, the value of the gun collection that's going to Randy,
mhm.
you
There's
know,
only one gun that has any value at all, and that's the Parker Brothers double. And
Those
you
are
have to
just
get it
knackery.
right.
so that you're not talking value in there.
And what's the one gun
This
worth
has seen
back?
better days. That's probably was not sterling.
Or a lot of sterling is plated, you know, it's sterling
Yeah.
plate, and the plate's worn off. But, Dad, there's a lot of things that, I mean, it might, in terms of, we might not end up using or keeping some pieces in the family that aren't sort of heirlooms or whatever. So, you know, it's just, silver's one of those things that gets turned over a lot. And
What do we do with things
there's
like
silver dealers
things
and
like this?
stuff that gets turned over a lot for resale.
See, we can't have garage sales here.
Or you do an estate
No,
sale.
you do an estate
Have
sale.
somebody come in.
I guess you could have a sale which was all indoors. I haven't heard of them.
No, an estate,
The black duck would be my preference.
I'm happy probably with just one of the little ones, anyway. I mean, they don't have to go together, they're one of the big ones in the world.
No, they're not part of a single set or anything like that, so breaking them up is, as I said, I've already got several. I've got the Whistler and the black duck and the goose.
And Judy, we
you have prints of the big one? You have
I have a print of both of those.
those.
Right.
If if you got that one, could I have your print?
Oh, sure.
It's really more, that, for me, it might be more the look, it's the memory, more than
Okay.
the value.
The Canada Goose is $1,200 in the Octavo
Right.
in 204.
That's the retail value.
Yeah, that's what you pay to buy it.
Right.
That's about,
But it's about $600 in terms of an estate.
yeah,
I
something
thought you
like
said they
that.
were worth $80,000.
That's these.
Now, most of the others,
Yeah.
the Arctic Tern,
So 600
the
apiece.
buff-breasted merganser is 700. The eider duck is 650. The trumpeter swan is 700. The Arctic Tern is 665.
So the goose is
Oh, the goose is one of the
the
top three, huh?
top three. Right?
Yeah.
But it gives you, I think most of them are 600 except probably the goose and the duck.
And that's the retail, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
And the rest, see, they're all waterfowl, as you know.
right.
I made it a waterfowl room.
Right.
So Jude, when you take stuff, since you don't have kids, are you committed to keeping it in our family, or are you gonna hand them on to?
With rare
Charlie?
exception, I am trying to set up my will such that my Baxter inheritance, whatever it may be, whether it's actually cash or stuff, stays with, it goes, basically, it's to pass to my nieces and nephews.
Okay, good.
I may have some discretion over the cash part more than this, but I will have, but that's still up to me. But that's what I'm generally writing into the will, unless otherwise specified. So if there's particular things that I want somebody else to have, and it could be anybody, it could be my kids, it could be my, it could be whatever, that if I want them to have it, they will. Having not had kids, I have my kids in different ways,
Hello.
Yeah,
so.
Okay.
All right, next room. So let's progress right to the living room, all right? This came from Argentina. Don't know where this is from. Oh, we can open all that.
Nothing in there, don't.
It's just TV.
so the toucan, I might want the toucan, since we have a best friend toucan, bird,
Right.
Tukey. You know Tukey, don't you?
That's the wood room. That came from Great Graham's house, I
Yep.
believe.
That's a good one.
What is it?
I got one of these that came from Grandma Comey's house.
Yeah.
It's not quite as fancy as that, so, but those are great, those are good things to keep
I had
around.
my eye on
Yeah.
that, actually. That does come from family, or not, or
Yeah,
you
you said
just,
Great Graham's house.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I like that too, so I guess we can all talk about that.
This is Chango. He's been beat up a little bit, but I love him. He came from Mexico.
He fell over and broke his nose.
You want something more authentic, 'cause that wouldn't
Chango?
happen when
Yeah,
people.
what I'd like to do is get him painted, this, so he doesn't look so. Mother bought this in Cozumel. Anything she wanted, I said, buy it, because I did all the buying. That's, as I say, Argentina. This is, we had around someplace. That probably came from Rancy Street.
What the, I don't think so.
No, I think that's, I think
Think
that's
that's Rigo.
Rigo, yeah.
Jackson.
This came from Ecuador. I had dinner with the artist and was at her. I said to my guy, I'd like to see, I'd like to go to some art galleries or something. So he took me to the Museum of Modern Art in Coeca. And I went in and talked to him. It's a lovely, great big museum. And somebody said something, I think I said, I read in the paper you're having a photographic week. What are you going to do a month? And they said, we don't have any photographers down there. We don't know what to do. So I said, well, I sent an exhibit down. So I gathered up this big exhibit and sent it down. And it was there for a month, and then it went out to the jumping off point for the
Stand here.
the consul in charge of artistic affairs or something, the U.S. consul in Quito, saw it and said, boy, that's good. Can I take it out to, can't think of the name, but I know it. So we went out there for a month, and you probably heard the story, and I figured it would just be destroyed when I get it back. I mean, it would be worthless. Came back diplomatic pouch.
Mhm.
And
That's great.
at the Museum of Modern Art, they were having an exhibit of Ecuadorian art to go to an international exhibit. And that was it, and I thought, as I say, I later met the,
I like a lot of the art, and
there was skiing there. This came from Morocco. The amazing thing about this is it's been in the sun and hasn't hardly faded. It's amazing how.
they only probably, from Morocco, it probably was pre-faded. They got a lot of sun there.
This table came from Bobby Lincoln Swingo.
Yeah, there's all of this furniture.
This was custom built for Lincoln Swingo. Now, almost everywhere I went, I bought a book. So there's probably 15 or 20 books. I saw all these people. So the question is, what happens to them? I'm going to put in them, and I've started, book plates that say from the library of Jack Baxter. And the wine books, unless somebody wants them, go to Don Boyd at Ray's. And the photography books go to my pal who runs the strip joint.
No, that's fine. As far as I'm concerned, Connie might have some interest in the photography book.
Does that mean I don't get any if I want?
You take whatever you want, the balance goes to these people. This is a local artist, we've had that quite a while. Now the big question is, this is, I would say, Great Graham's.
Right.
There's probably 3 or 4 tables.
Yeah. And that's probably an antique and
Well, I'm
quite
sure it is.
valuable.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
And-
and there's 2 others in the bedroom that deserve to, just,
Yeah. I've
but I'd
got,
be interested in.
I got 3 of this guy's stuff. And what happened, and I think they're very valuable now. His name was Fisher, Ken Fisher. And what happened was he decided to leave Oregon and do entirely different work in the East Coast. So we had a silent auction, and I just happened to walk into this place, and I looked at this stuff, and the bid was like $25 or something. So I bid on 4 items. And I noticed that there was a gal walking behind me, and every time I'd put something on, she'd up it, and then I'd up it. So finally she came to me and said, well, you've tapped me out. I'd really like one of these pieces, and they're the same ones you want. So I guess that's it. And I said, no, take your pick. And she took one. Doukhobor. I have Doukhobor 1. I think she took Doukhobor 2. And one piece that I have, he said, if you give that to a museum, I'll get it appraised at $10,000. Now, so I've got 4 of those. That's called Calla. Now this is an antique, probably from Great Grams, or we had a few around 75 Pleasant Street. This, as you know, is a French family thing, which should be staying available. What about this? Who can handle that?
Boy, no.
I try.
You sure as hell gotta try.
Yeah.
There's two issues with that baby.
Yeah.
One is who's got the house
To take it?
that can take it, and the other is getting it there.
And the other is living in Colorado climate. Although it's probably, here's dry enough.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if it were coming from Lake Oswego, you'd have real,
But it did.
I know, but
I mean, this went from 75 Pleasant Street
To 19 Lansing
Yeah.
Street,
to 19 Lansing Street,
to
So-
Lake
Atwater
Oswego.
Road,
yeah.
to,
so that's something I'd be interested in having.
Now, this, as
Always
you
had
know,
that
was my
stuff.
grandfather's wedding present to my mother.
Which grandfather?
And I shown this to
Asa?
Mahogany.
Asa?
No,
Baxter.
Grandpa Baxter. My grandfather, the Baxter, H.C.
So, say the path again?
HC gave it
From my,
to Constance French.
from my Baxter grandfather, Harley C. Baxter, to my mother as a wedding present.
It's a great piece, and if you've got the place for it, you should do it, but one of the three of us should figure out.
Right.
I mean, that is a, doesn't go outside the
Right.
family for
This,
sure.
Until somebody,
this was custom made for Lake Oswego. This, as I've said, is a really very rare piece, I think, probably. And we talked about the fact that it's solid, not, it's cast bronze, not hollow. Then there's that, and, you know, these pieces of furniture that were mostly Lake Oswego.
About that painting, Dad?
Hmm?
That painting, what do you know about it?
Well, that's Kenya Moriyasu, and it's probably quite valuable now. He's died. And he was a Portland artist.
Portland, Maine?
No, Portland, Oregon.
There
'Cause I thought-
are,
Oswego.
in terms of the art, I mean, we've already talked about the ottomans, but as a general statement, I like a lot of it, a lot. The Bowdoin College one, I'd obviously like to have, and probably I'm the logical one on that. I really like the Moises. I mean, you know, he's a Maine guy.
Yeah,
and
that's
all
the guy I was
that.
thinking, Louise, because I knew Catherine Dunn.
Huh?
Catherine Dunn,
There's a couple of those.
Yeah.
I tried to get those appraised when I was in McHenry, but I couldn't go. And there's a book that goes with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's in the category of a Maine artist done well and died.
Yeah.
So,
So would you like,
there are three of them, and so if you guys like them as well, then it's a matter of picking, you know, there's no reason for the three to stay together. I'm just saying I like the Moise style a lot, and I would.
well, a lot of the landscape art, there's another watercolor in here that's by the same artist that I already have two of. The
But
dead.
we'll get to the Moise as we go
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
This you want to pay attention to. It should be valuable. I bought it in Uruguay. It was done in 1954 by the leading woodcut artists in Uruguay. And this is Cuba. That's the Cuban Picasso. I bought that from the studio. And then in here,
I'd be interested in either of those pieces.
me too,
Very interesting.
in here,
so put us down. And I had to be interested in this French thing.
Yeah, I put that up here, Connie, okay. Antique chair,
I mean, you know, who knows?
and
That
and the
then,
table? Judy and
those aren't big enough
talk about a lot of them.
heirlooms, but what would be good to keep. On the other hand, they could be sold as antiques.
Right.
And that's
I
it.
think with some of the furniture, it's gonna come down to,
Out on the island, Neckworth Island, that he rescued from the school sort of
Yeah.
just chucking it, or further degradation, I'm just here to tell you,
I
you can-
remember in.
and it should have you know, we didn't keep stuff in the family from Percy's because nobody could afford to do it, so.
Well, I remember 1968 when he died, and Jane and I going into the house, and, you know, everything had been valued by the estate guy, and, I mean, there were Tiffany lamps and brass four-poster beds and Queen Anne tables till hell wouldn't have it for, I mean, nothing. And what were we doing? We were on our way to Dartmouth.
Right.
550 square
They
feet. I
didn't-
mean, there was no goddamn way. So, you know, he just went,
But some of this stuff would be important if one of you were...
Even keeping in storage.
Were an
In a
antique
nice,
freak, you know, oh boy, a full house full of antiques. You
Yeah, but-
really want those to go with what you have.
Yeah, but even that table, you don't have to be an antique freak to enjoy that table.
Oh, sure, that's...
I can be a half a dozen places in one of our two houses
Yeah.
where that table would go just
me
fine.
too.
Uh,
So, I mean, or if you,
and no offense, Dad, at all, but I mean, I'd work hard at that, but that, you know,
No, that's just another piece.
that's sort of another piece of furniture. If somebody had the need for it, that'd be great, but that piece, I think you'd work hard at. Talk about this, because I know what's in
Yeah.
there.
That, I've got to get a key maker, I can't have the last key. But that is a captain's liquor chest. And it should be very valuable. It's got little
Shot glasses, sort of.
shot glasses.
you opened it up when we were here once.
And it, sea captain
Mm-hmm.
ancestors. I don't know which one.
Okay.
But it's a, you know, it's a fascinating piece.
Right.
It's an antique or anything. Ecuador, this came from a guy that lives down the street. This was done by Cuba's leading woodworking artists.
Cuba or Ecuador?
Ecuador,
Okay.
Ecuador.
This is Cuba, this
That's
Right.
Cuba.
Cuba.
I got that in Havana, and this was at a sale here. Now, up here, we have major glasswork.
Yep.
These are great beer glasses. There's beer Pilsner glasses. There's champagne glasses. There's all sorts of stuff here.
How about we divide and conquer that
Whatever.
when time comes?
Look at this.
Yeah.
Now these are
Crystal is important,
these.
straight glass, that's not crystal
No, that one doesn't.
in
These,
terms of value.
but this is family heirloom.
Okay. Okay, so we're talking the small, what used to be the
Yeah.
old champagne ones up there. Is there any other
I don't
family
think
heirloom?
Those
No.
are different.
Or white, whatever we
Those
call
are
that.
cordial glasses.
Okay, so those are family heirloom up there.
Now these here came from 75 Pleasant Street, and they've never been touched since then, since we broke that up. The interesting thing to me is that, you know, this is leaded glass, and this has been in there for 50 or 60 years. It ought to have enough lead in it to kill your favorite enemy. And I've always thought it'd be fun to give it to a kid in chemistry in high school and test it. But those, as I say, and I assume that when they went to 75 Pleasant Street, that they were very old when they got there. This is, you know, his mother's.
Mm-hmm.
This
is Hopi. I gave that to you. Just,
There's a nice...
Take it back.
that would be me.
thing.
No, it was a gift, but just so you know that that's a Hopi bowl.
Also, I'm having a real hard time drinking up.
Well,
But I don't drink
It's got a
up.
few years on it, Dad. Okay,
Miscellaneous booze.
let's go over to the walls.
Now this, you know, this is a McGuire set.
Yeah.
These are very, very
I like those.
expensive.
I have one of their McGuire tables, and all I would like is to have, this is the accompanying
Sure.
chairs. You kept the chairs.
Yeah.
You have 2 sets of chairs and 1 table left. I have 1 table and no
Oh,
chairs.
those chairs?
So at some point, I'd like a set of chairs that,
No,
this set
yeah.
of chairs that went with it. Because it's based on the color of the wood.
I've always wanted
Yeah,
one of these.
so it's a great table. And I would,
Yeah, for my,
That's a roll.
Bax, do you have any interest in the McGuire table?
That's what?
do you have any interest in this?
Okay.
This is another Ken Fisher. This is the one, I think this is the one he said he'd get 10 grand for.
I've always liked that,
Yeah.
that one. It's been, I actually like both
Louise.
those sculptures. I would like
This is a Moise, not a roll.
Okay, so Den Moise, which is the
this?
stream.
These are, I believe, my grandmother's grandparents.
Which grandmother?
Grandmother Baxter. It's probably Dr. Isaac Lincoln or maybe Dr. John Lincoln and his wife. Emily Holmes had them, my father got them, and there's no attribution as to the artist.
Okay.
Wine books and all these, that's Wyatt, this is Ecuador, that's a wine book, that's New Guinea,
Careful of that cord.
that's Ecuador, that's India, this is Nepal. So you just have to keep in mind that what you don't want,
Dad,
yeah,
I tell you, I'm pretty good with books.
you what?
I'm pretty good at spotting books. That's what I do for a living, and so these Audubons, these Birds of America are probably very valuable.
No, because I've taken all the pictures out.
Oh,
They've been rigged.
okay.
See, this,
Never mind.
this is what I traded for the complete restoration of the elephants. This is really fascinating in what he personally wrote, the massiveness of what he did. There's like 400 or 500 of these, and he describes
I know.
all this.
That's why I thought these would be
The snowy
incredibly
owl.
valuable.
Yeah, that was $4,000 when I traded it.
So you've torn out pictures.
I tore out all of it.
Okay.
All of those octavos in there were bound into books like that originally.
Yeah.
Should these
Now
go to
here-
the Maine
see
Historical
here-
Society or something?
Well, I was assuming, those are all Baxter papers. I assume, those are James Finney papers. I assume Connie would want those. Either
Yeah,
that or they
okay.
should go back to someplace in Maine.
Yeah, why don't I be
Okay.
responsible for them when we
Okay.
do?
But here you got to see the history
I
of
have
Rome.
all of those.
All of these
already.
things. Papua New Guinea, Silver Bowden, Pheasanton of Maine, Pheasantons,
Yeah.
Israel.
I have Grandpa's copies of most of that.
I've got some of those.
Oh, yeah.
So Jude, I may,
You should take these, Connie,
See
too.
yeah,
all these
Uh-huh.
fine things.
and those. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure
Now,
somebody
these,
had those.
these are all the legislative record from when I was in the legislature.
Okay.
And this is the famous one in which Uncle Percy, you know the story of Uncle Percy calling up the governor,
Yeah, so that's the
and this is,
record of that.
So do you want to tell it quickly or not now? Or on the
but this, I'll have to mark this.
no time? No.
I would move on. Oh, we actually, we've gotten through some of the big stuff.
Yeah, this is the one. Mr. Baxter. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, the task that I have today is both a rather usual task and a rather unusual task. It is usual because and so forth. So this is all the gift that I had to stand up and ask for unanimous consent
Volume.
to introduce the thing. And this was, of course, all extemporaneous. I didn't have any time to prepare anything. I just had to get up and talk.
Yeah, I'd like to, why don't you keep that out, I'd like to Xerox that or something. So, yeah, I'll get you to tell that story.
And we can do that sometime. This is, I don't think there's anything special in here. Nothing in here.
I just checked those, Dad, nothing, I don't think.
Nothing in here. So that's about this. Then there's this, of course, came from somewhere. What is
Very
this?
functional piece. Oh, that's your gerontologist, I'm gonna write those out for you.
Oh.
Who to contact.
So again, the idea is take what you want, give the stuff to the people I mentioned, and the rest, if it's worth anything, can go to some library someplace or something
Okay,
like that.
do you have a library, Lewis and Clark,
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
Bend? Is there a Bend
there's
Public Library?
One in Portland, and it's solid walnut, and these are all made from gun stocks, walnut gun stocks. And we had this alcove, the front door was here, and we had this alcove built specially to take the door.
Right.
And I'd like to have the door kept in the family, but it's not necessary. It's a great, great door. And everybody comes here admires it. And
I grew up with it too, in
Yeah.
Oswego, but it may be hard to figure out
how to use it.
short of,
Might sell a house too.
Well, we might be building a house in Sedona,
Yeah,
so,
that would be great. Build around that.
yeah.
That
so
would
we
be
can-
wonderful. Okay.
so somebody could figure it out, it's just
Nothing in
it'd
here?
be tough.
Few hats, probably worth a couple $100 a piece. A very good smoke alarm
Right?
stuff. Now here, this is what I was gonna send for a wedding present. Where's Phil? This is what I was gonna send for a wedding present. They
To
came from the
Christina?
Comey house.
Mhm.
And I would say this came from Comey's, this came from Comey's. Those dogs came from Comey's. Probably that cut glass came from Comey's. I bought that in someplace, Mexico. This is the acorn that Allie gave me.
Right.
The backs, this is a whole line of
Right.
shooting books. These are just novels. This is more of the Baxter manuscripts, Connie. And these are more Baxter manuscripts.
I've actually got a couple of those at my house.
They're really interesting. If you take the time to read them, the history of Maine, so this goes back to the 1500s. And he went to Europe and spent a long time copying all these manuscripts that were in places there. I mean, this is a monster piece of work.
Well, I'll tell you something, I talked to the head of the the John Alden House.
Yeah?
The curator of the John Alden House, and I went in to chat with him on some subjects. And I said I was descended from James Finney Baxter, and he said, I want to tell you that his history of Maine, of the colonies in Maine,
Yeah, this
is
is
the
it.
definitive history that I wish Plymouth Colony had had a history like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Yeah.
so he contributed greatly to the
Now, these
history.
here are things that
Goddamn
I've
thing is
picked up
closed.
around you know, in the foreign countries. That is malachite from South Africa. These were in Grandpa Baxter's house, and I'm sure that they came, these two, you know, Uncle Charlie Lincoln, Grandma's brother, was a missionary in China. And I'm sure that's where that came from. That came from Nepal, that came from someplace. This came from Fiji, that came from Russia, this came from Russia, that came from Chile. Oh, this is one of my proud possessions here. I looked all over Bhutan for that.
Is it a
For your
fucking
nasty, yeah.
Is that pretty good? It's the only one in all of Bhutan that I could find.
I might keep, I like the Buddha.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe that is, yeah, I think it's Buddha.
So wait, we see how this guy's your masterpiece.
And, you know, that came from Brazil. That's from Brazil. That's from New Zealand. That's from Brazil. Oh, we have to talk about this. And I'm sure I've told you before. This was on the china closet at 75 Pleasant Street and never worked.
Right.
It was a wedding present. And nobody wanted it. So I said, well, I'll take it. And we had it in Lake Oswego. And when we came over here, Alice took it to a little watchmaker, and for the first time in 75 years, he made it run. And then we had it appraised, and it's very, very valuable. It's at least $10,000, and that was years ago. And somebody else saw this once and said, oh, wow, what about that? So this
Whose wedding present was it? To whom? To your father?
Yeah, mother.
Yeah.
See, this is all intricately inlaid. I mean, nowadays you take a piece of plastic, strip it across.
There's another smaller clock, but it's like an anniversary clock. Someplace I've seen. Anyway. Not nearly as valuable as this one, but also a nice clock.
Okay.
What time are we getting on?
Pretty good piece of business. This lamp was a wedding present.
To you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. The chaise,
Jay's.
I have,
This
would
is
like to
custom
think
built.
about.
A whole custom built bed. that
You
was-
might be too, but
Went into,
Haven't had it.
I just
That was
really
a
not
road.
reading on it.
no, I guess
These two
maybe,
tables
I guess
are
maybe this went
valued.
into
Yeah.
Are antique.
the
Oswego.
Skyline Circle.
Talk about these two tables.
Well, that's Great Graham's house, and that's Great Graham's house. There's a little bit of stuff left here if anybody wants.
That's all sort of costume jewelry.
Yeah, we picked it
This
up
was
pretty
a
well.
sewing, I believe it's an old
That's a sewing table. No, I believe that, and I think that was my mother's sewing table. And not Great Graham's.
And this folds out
Yeah,
up.
that's the leaf table.
So,
And there's nothing much there. That's some
Very
There's the precious little boy we all grew up with.
That's very valuable.
This was a wedding present, I better have that polished, from my ushers. Dan Ruben,
Right.
Dutch Morris, Fred Fisher, he's dead, and Dougal.
Dad, this is the
This I bought in Thailand, I believe. It's kind of a nice little thing. And now, that there is a Gene Cleve. And I had admired his work. And I was out there with my father at one point, and he bought it for me after I came out here. But Cleve was a very noted watercolorist in Maine. And if you'll notice, the detail in that is terrific. And watercolor is very hard to do detail in because it runs.
Right.
And to get that detail showed great,
Yeah.
that's nothing.
This is the Rolf. This is the guy I have two of, right?
Yeah, that's the wrong. I didn't know whether any would like that, it's that kind of picture.
I don't actually have, I like
This
his
is a
work,
going
I
away
have New
present
England one, but I
when
don't
we
need
left.
another one.
When
And
we
it's
left
less-
Litchfield for the west,
Who gave it to you?
I've forgotten. I think,
What about this sculpture, Dad?
He said it's not.
Nothing?
I don't think
You've had it
that's
for a long
anything.
time, I just remember it.
this,
And this cedar chest?
yeah, that's Baxter. Back there.
It's been around forever. I know
Yeah.
that.
This is
I
an
would keep
impala
this.
skin from South Africa. I go with my picture of my impala. Then we really should take a brief moment and step out here because of the special steel of rust. And that was done by a guy named John Reach. And as you can see, I bought that of his, and
Where's the one out
the
here?
eagle
Oh, the
is
eagle.
his.
Okay.
And the eagle broke, it was on the ground, and I have this kind of a hunky gal that does my, and I said, I don't know, I thought I'd get somebody from maintenance. She said, I'll get that fixed. It was certainly above and beyond the call of duty. And she came back 2 days later, it was all fixed, mounted it, said, how much? And she said, oh, nothing. I took it to a welder in town and asked him how much, and he said, no, just, it's a nice piece and should be preserved, so I don't want to charge you for it. So in the hallway.
I meant like one of these sculptures.
Yeah.
What's the name of the artist again?
Richen, R-I-C-H-E-N. He was in Portland for a while, but he essentially came from Seattle. He's probably still.
Zach, do you have any interest in any outdoor sculptures for your places? Yeah?
Okay.
Those interest me.
I don't know what they
Yeah,
are.
one would interest me. And this box,
Oh, the box, yeah.
The hat box. That's old.
That is a hat box for a tri-cornered hat. Look at that, you have to look at it.
yeah, I know, I was just,
Well, I guess that's stuck on 17th. Those are
Right,
all
yeah.
gloves and mothers.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that leopard, the leopard coat I bought with my separation pay from the Army. It was a full-length leopard coat, it was $800. And she kept remodeling it, you know, because we got out of style, it was too big.
What do we do with it anyway?
Huh?
Do you still have it?
Yeah, and I would like, I think it would be great if somebody,
I'll never wear it.
no, because you're against shooting. But
Take it to Aspen and wear it around Aspen.
I'll get it.
Yeah, I'll
Inked
I'll
out.
check it out.
hot washers, hot washers.
The twat washers?
Around full of bags.
This I bought,
Yeah.
Or something like
this I bought, I thought this was ideal for the bathroom, and it's called the twat washers. And this is a Jack McClarty, and all the information about him is on the back of that. Yeah, he's a very famous artist in Portland. This is a little ominous, as I told you, I'm losing weight. No, I haven't changed anything.
How much did we lose?
From 67 to 62, just 62 in the last couple of days. But it was 67, 64, 63, 62, with a little bias towards 61.
Over what period of time?
Since March,
You mind if I take that right now?
no,
I just got, you know, it looks a little like Ben. I
Yeah.
wanted to- oh, you know, maybe you
oh,
all look that way.
these
Yeah.
here,
That's exactly as old as Ben is now. Well, yeah, I would say just about. He's got about the same number of teeth, so must be
this is
close.
Alice. So this, and this go together.
Yeah.
Although, no, she would, where are you going back?
I'm just gonna put this in here.
Okay.
This is where he shoots his nudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a Time water pot. And I bought it at cost. At least $400 to get it home.
Thai water pot, it's pretty.
Yeah.
See, in Thailand, they collect water in the monsoon. They don't have any running water. They put these on their roofs, about 5 or 6 of them, and collect them during the monsoon, and then they use.
I like that too.
This, we bought when we first got here, and it's the sisters. It looks like Africa,
Right.
but it was done by a janitor of the Redmond School District. And the thing is, for us, is that when the western sun goes down, we have this terrific gray silhouette.
Is that something that would be more meaningful given to the Black Butte Lodge, or,
No,
just something local? It's gonna mean less to us.
I don't know what you want. Actually, I
I
watched
kinda like
this.
it actually.
Okay.
I watched this being.
I was just,
I watched this being made in
Mhm.
Nepal.
the hat box, who's interested in the hat box?
Not me, particularly.
I would be.
This-
Maxie, you?
No, go ahead.
This is another one of these classic things that I bought for $102, and then had a fantastic time trying to get it home. Ran all over Cape Town. That's Soweto,
Oh,
and there's a big black artist, and I met
so I
him.
like that.
I met him, and once I bought it, then I had to find out some way to get it home, and I finally got a gallery. No, the gallery wouldn't do it, but he sent me to a shipper, and I think it cost $200 or $300 to get it home. Mother liked that. In fact,
Yeah,
she
it's a
kind
good
of
piece.
quietly said once she liked that better than that abstract in the sunroom, and I don't blame her.
Uh-huh, I do too.
This I got in India, and I had that sent home, and the thing I particularly, anywhere in the Far East, it's very hard to get anything that isn't religious painting. And I thought that was very spare. That was a really great picture. I got it in Orissa. This is a
What I
Moise.
kind of like just out of the arts, and it's in
This is a Moise.
the, right.
And they had, they had a big art show in the Malton Union, and I went in, and I looked at the prices, and I said, if you'll ship them, I'll buy this, 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 and this. I bought 3 Moise and 3 Rolfs, I think. And the gal that sold them to me remembered that when I was there at reunion, she said, I remember when you're Jack Baxter, I remember when you came in, and you just bought everything inside.
Max, you're welcome to those, the Moises, as far as I'm concerned.
Where's the third one?
Around the corner in the bathroom, I think.
I love
yeah.
this.
This is
That was
the,
it, Oswego.
Yeah.
I bought it, downtown.
It's the typical Oregon ability to use wood and
Yeah.
that's,
wood
that's-
decorative.
I
It's-
grew up with it.
it's-
Yeah, well,
that's
you
the one
would take it.
girl.
I mean, I like it, but
on the beach.
Yeah,
if it has real emotional
Yeah.
value for Judy, why don't you
Yeah.
have it?
there's that. I've always liked this Louise that's back in the corner.
Gayla did this,
Yeah.
that I gave to Mother. This Connie is Cape Town,
Oh.
which I thought was
That's
very
a nice
typical
piece.
part of the Cape. This is the Moise.
Right, I like it.
Yeah.
And then this here, again, I searched Cat Benton Dew
Sorry.
forever to find that, to find something that wasn't a tanker. Now then the question is, while we're still in the hall back, what do we do with this?
Have a drawing.
This is Jake Day, the guy that invented Bambi. And as you know, what this says is great service.
I mean, if Connie wants that, she's got the connection to the park and
Yeah.
all of that,
Yeah, I'd like to have it.
I would defer to Connie and Judy, on that one.
Yeah, I think Connie ought to have it
Yeah.
if she'd like it.
And this, at Uncle Percy's house was the only thing I wanted.
Right.
And Mary White wanted it. And Mary's a tough bird.
But that,
And my father
That
went
being
in
a
and
masterpiece
Mary
of
said,
understatement.
oh, I want that. And my father said, Jack wants that, Mary, you just forget it. Step aside, please. Take it down and bring it to me. And you don't do that to Mary very much.
No.
Well, Mary and I were buddies, so she'd
Yeah.
be happy.
Oh, yeah, she loved Alice and me. I mean, we're her favorites. Kay did that, incidentally.
Oh.
It's called Autumn Leaves or something. It's strange, it's beautiful. It's not much of a room, and it would be much easier to live in the front part where there's more closet space, because I didn't have any closet space. This was done in 1974 by an artist in Hawaii, Maui, I believe. This I call my early Shirley. That's Shirley Gittleson, and she did that, and she's still paying in Portland, and I go to her shows, but she doesn't do that anymore. She does stuff that I really hate. Garish flowers and stuff. But the stuff on the back of that, her saying who she is and all that. That is a print of a woodcut. It's not a original woodcut. I believe that's a print. But again,
Yeah,
It's
number
10 out of
3.
80.
Yeah.
again, I get that in, what's the environmental thing? The protocol that the U.S. won't sign and Russia's about to sign.
The Kyoto?
Kyoto.
Kyoto, yeah. So
Connie,
got
I
that
gotta
in
get
Kyoto.
you into that.
And again, you know, in Japan, to find something like that is really tough.
And look down for the camera. Yes, thank you, Connie.
You like that?
Yes, I do. I think it's you.
And in here, is, Mother bought this, a few pieces of art she bought, and we know the great artists that did that. I mean, outstanding photographers in America.
Outstanding photographers of the time.
Yes.
Yes.
I would hear
I
her
think she's still alive, I'm not.
Yeah, so,
She's more alive than ever.
This is just came along with more nudes.
all of this furniture, I picked it out. It was my bedroom furniture in Lake Oswego when I
Oh,
got
Judy.
rid of the waterbed. This was, and Mom took over that room when I finally went to college, and she decided that she could take over that room initially as some crafts and,
Oh, yeah.
but anyway, all of this wicker stuff
Well, good
I
taste,
picked
Jude.
out for when we
That's a-
moved to Oswego, to the Skyline Circle House.
I have to make do. I found my sweaters here.
What about this lamp here?
Well,
That's got a lot, it's been around since Christ was a small boy.
Yeah, that's a good icon.
That's, I recall that at every house that I
Yeah.
ever lived in.
that's a wedding present.
Yeah, it's Chinese, is it
Well, I
Chinese?
think it may have been a hand-me-down.
So the lamp in the bedroom that has the shade off of it was a wedding present to you and Mom. You think?
Probably.
So that has sentimental value to all of us, I guess. So you can,
Yeah, but I'm not attached to that.
you defer.
Oh, I wouldn't let it go away, but,
Yeah.
you know, it's one of those things that would not be left.
Yeah.
Right.
As you all know, and we dealt with it a little bit with Janet's house, the huge deal is figuring out how to transport.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean, you know, you can bring a car and put a trailer behind it, but they don't put much furniture in that. Once you're into the furniture part, you're really into hiring.
U-Haul. Doing U-Haul or
Well,
Or hiring a mover.
hiring a mover to come load and take and all of that.
And carefully, that's
Yeah,
how
that's the point.
that's how the grandfather clock will get.
Yeah, the
not
grandfather clock is
to
not gonna be-
Colorado one way or another.
Yeah.
And if you gotta take one thing, then it probably behooves us to have one,
Good dog, Holly.
you know,
Right,
one load and pay for it.
right.
Sure.
Just to get a stove to Oregon, from Oregon to Colorado, it costs $600.
This is emptying my pockets.
Right. Right.
You can divide that up
That's
three
the
ways.
family fortune right there.
So the bamboo furniture, you know, depending, I mean, if you don't want it, Jude, you know, if you want it, you're welcome to it. But let's just see, I mean.
Yeah.
That's gonna be who's got the.
Who's got the need
Who's
and
got the need at the time and
Yeah.
all of that.
Right. But, I'm okay without it right now. So I'll write that down as an initial.
Yeah, because I may get the house in Aspen. And Dave may get it.
Oh, I mean,
We have to think about that.
I guess that the point is, we would all look at, decide, and take, but then you should write down what you want done, either with all of it, if you want it left together somehow, or if you thought you were comfortable with us taking the things that we wanted, then what would you like to have done with the rest of it?
I don't have any idea.
Well-
Secretary of the foundation that I was chairman of, and he gave it to me. He said, "You got a condo at Backyard. Can I use it?" I said, "Sure." And then he'd say again, "Could I use it again?" I said, "Sure." And he'd do it again. So he gave me this. I found out that he was taking his mistress there, not his wife.
Bax, John, or me should have that, the JB.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, it's a nice,
Go for it.
sort of.
This came from Brazil. This came from...
Repeat all of these so Connie gets it on tape, yeah.
Hmm?
Repeat all of these so Connie gets it on tape.
The stuff out here. That,
Well, I'm now not exactly sure. I know that came from Brazil. I know this came from New Guinea. It's called a storyboard. And it came from the Sepik River, because that's the alligator people. Or crocodile, I guess they are. And that, I assume, came from Nepal. This pretty much came from Nepal.
well, the masks, we probably like the masks. You know. Should we start getting ready to go?
That's the one that my executive gave me. Gave me.
Yeah, I saw that, the fur-lined thunder jug.
Yeah, Bud Dow did that.
I'm not surprised.
And that's a list of all the guys, people in the Mouse Pack. I thought Ryan Fendler should have that.
Well, how's Ryan doing? I guess he's younger than you.
He's good. He's 75.
All your hunting gear.
Yeah.
I'd like one of these wooden gooses.
You can write down, Terry,
Yeah?
there's a massive bird bath out in front of Haywood's.
Okay.
And the guy that brought over from Lake Oswego said, "Boy, I want to tell you, you paid more to have that brought over here than it's worth. It's so goddamn heavy." This is the other, did you look at this one here too?
Yeah.
That was given to me at the time of my retirement from AMFAC. This
Is it Hawaiian?
Huh?
Is it Hawaiian?
No.
That's a sort of Hawaiian look to it.
I'll throw this part away. This open.
Is that one of that guy Fisher?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be interested to have that appraised.
Actually, you should get them all appraised if you do that.
This is a,
Nepalese?
no, that's an Indian camel bell. And there's something here that was, oh yeah, that's from Switzerland. Yeah, and this is from India. And this is what they tie around the camel stacks.
What about that
What?
pot there with the,
In here,
yeah.
that was, I think, a decorator for Oswego Lake. I like Oswego.
So
Okay.
is that about it? What time is it?
Variety of stuff, for sure.
Must be time to get ready. Andrew's gonna show up soon.
3:46.
Tell them to come around 4:15.
Yeah. Okay, Dad?
Yeah.
Well done.
Taking the dog out. You taking the dog out?
Oh, yeah. Come on, honey. Holly.
Wait a minute.
She's been cooped up all day. She usually goes out at 12:30. I used to string the lights, Christmas lights on this tree, you know, without getting on a ladder or anything. Look at it now. And this one too, this was a spindly little thing. And I decorate that, that was about this high. These are my trees
Those are your trees?
that they cut, you know, around the lot.
So how's Holly been working for you?
Oh, just great. So we're super buddies.
Remember how she didn't like Mom too much?
The what?
She didn't like Mother too much, right? She used to growl at Mother.
I guess maybe at first, I don't know. But she
Yeah.
probably knew Mother didn't like dogs and didn't like her.
No, because she growled at Mother when I was there
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, I don't blame Mother for not liking her. But she growled at her. Well, that's pretty good color.
Yeah, beautiful. So how often do you go hunting with Holly?
Well, not very much. I took her to Saskatchewan with me.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How'd she do?
That's why I drove. Well, we didn't have much opportunity. The kind of hunting that we did wasn't her type of hunting. Haven't you got enough? Haven't you must have enough. Isn't this a nice fern? That's what I'd like to have my place covered with. Holly, come on.
Beautiful day.
In Mexico.
Oh, really?
I spent 2 days getting these two
That's nice.
pictures. But the thing was to get the action, and, you know, most of the pictures have all sorts of clutter in the background.
Yeah.
So I had to work real hard to eliminate the background. And that's when he does his job. I really like those two pictures. People here don't like them because they don't like stabbing the bull, you know?
Right, the blood.
I kind of like that one. That's in Buenos Aires.
Mm-hmm.
Tango or something?
That's great.
So that's the Mudmen in New Guinea.
Yeah, we want them.
Yeah, look at them, they're great.
So it's for the exhibit, you know, the
Yeah.
indigenous peoples of the world.
On easy to like and set up.
That's the duck farm in China. I don't do many landscapes, but that one I kind of like. This is the Annapurna Range here in Nepal. And again, this is a landscape that I just raced out and got one morning, and I really like it. The detail here is really great.
What were you shooting with? 35?
Yeah, this is all 35 millimeter, all with a really well advanced Minolta lenses, and I used all a Kodachrome 200 until my last trip, for which I used probably a 400.
That's beautiful.
That's Nepal.
Probably want that one, right?
Yeah.
This is Morocco.
I'd say you'd want that one, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Are they considered indigenous people?
Well, what is it?
No, not particularly.
Well, it depends on who they are. The Berbers are the indigenous people of Morocco.
But you can't tell those are Berbers or not.
No, you
I don't
can't,
think there were
exactly.
too many Berbers in my pictures. I love the picture. I mean, I
Yeah, I
really,
love
really
the
like
pictures.
the
The picture's great. But so there's so few tones of color there, it's amazing. It's just red and black and white and a little bit in between.
That's Turkey. You don't want that. This is Argentina, out in the back country. The thing that most people don't notice in this, it says, "Fuck you, Papa."
Thank you, Pop.
And incidentally, this is now a plain wall. They painted all this out. And this is real, I just love all this graffiti.
Right.
I mean, it lends something to it. It would be nothing at all, and I like her in it. But it's just a wall
If it
now.
was a blank wall, it wouldn't even be a photograph, right?
This is Burma. They're not these are not the tribes of the indigenous people of Burma.
Yeah.
So these are really not indigenous. Well, this is Mexico, Tasco, Mexico, many years ago. I love her. There's a strength in there,
Yeah. She could well be indigenous.
Yeah, let's take her.
There's indigenous in Ecuador. Although there are tribes there that are more indigenous than
If you
this.
go back into the jungles, yeah.
This is getting a little bit more that way.
Yeah, we'll keep that.
You like him?
This is Nepal.
Nepal.
That's not indigenous, is it?
Hard to say. I don't know enough about Nepal to know. You see, by indigenous, do you mean
This
tribal,
is-
or how do you define it?
This is those two gals in
Mexico.
the lab printed those and didn't make them the right size for framing, so I put them on this one board like this. But I've got both of them framed, actually, so. So you haven't been to the lodge, have you?
Well, yesterday.
Oh, yeah. That's India.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, beautiful. So she looks like an indigenous.
Oh, yeah, sure.
In India, they call them the tribals.
I've always liked this. It's kind of moody and dark.
The Ecuadorian.
Yeah, and I may be able to lighten that up,
I think it's really interesting because it's dark.
fooling with it.
Do you like that? Mysterious.
Indigenous cowboy.
Indigenous cowboy.
There
The
he is.
great thing about this is see the doggies here. And the background is completely neutral.
Yeah.
But I really like that. Well, that's right, you were down there yesterday. This is another one that I like. I not only got all this and this, but I got the cow here.
Yeah.
And I have a couple other shots where the cow is off center or not there. So I just stood there and shot till I got what I wanted. And those are two little acolytes, you know, they start their training at, what, 7 years old, for 8 years, I think. It's hard to keep these together. That's Morocco, and I like, you know, what's going on there. But they aren't Berbers or anything like that. This has always been a popular picture of the little girl.
Yeah, that's great.
Jerusalem. And I waited a long time for that. And what I like this, you know, this the men's wall. Oh, that's scratched or broken. There's the men's wall, the ladies' wall over here. And they're wicked crowded. I mean, I had to wait a long time to get a shot that wasn't all messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Also called the Wailing Wall, as you knew. That's my Impala, who posed for me so nicely in Kruger Park.
An indigenous Impala.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's northern Thailand. That's Ecuador. And they grow the wheat as a cover for the poppies to make heroin.
Mm-hmm.
So we want that one.
You like that? Okay. Yeah, and look, what I love about that is the colors that he's wearing, the red, and then it's picked up by the poppies.
That's the street scene in Tokyo. Shot from a bus. This is Trinidad, Cuba. And, you know, what's indigenous, any tribes they ever had in Cuba along, I mean, they drove them off.
Right.
This is Morocco. I like the strength of that one.
Mm-hmm.
And also, again, you know, I got just no cluttered background. And that's Lisbon, Portugal. And that is on a trek up in Nepal. And these people came from far and wide to serenade us.
I think we're going to use that.
You want to use that one? Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So that's Bhutan. But I'm not sure what's indigenous in Bhutan.
Right. When did you first go to Bhutan?
2 years ago.
What do you think of that one? It's not really, huh?
It's not really.
No,
You see, it's really a question of how one defines indigenous.
I mean, if you really want
who are not.
tribal stuff, that's northern Thailand.
Yeah, I like that.
I've got tribal stuff from northern Thailand. I mean, the real tribes like in that book, and I haven't printed any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I could see if I could find one or two that might work,
That'd be good.
because they are indigenous. That's one of those two mixed
Yeah, right, the
together.
Mexican one.
You want that? No, it's not that. Yeah, that's good.
Like that one? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Is that India?
that's India. Yeah.
So we want that
You
one.
can have that. Yeah.
I won some sort of a prize with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of a national contest, which I always thought was a racket.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got a book out here that it's published in, and that's Morocco. Turkey. This is Argentina, down in Labu.
Yeah, I like that.
This is a fortune teller, palm reader. And, you know, it's one of those things, you get it, and within an instant it was gone. I mean, they knew it, they turned around, but I got them before they
became aware of you.
Yeah. And I use a 300 millimeter lens, so I'm quite a way off. I was kind of like that when I went out one morning in Cuenca and just walked around and shot.
Yeah.
And that's where I had the exhibit in the Museum of Modern Art. This is Nepal. That's the first picture I took when I went into Nepal.
That's great. It's like a National Geographic shot.
Well, this is sort of indigenous. That's the little boy in the...
Plastic bucket. How does he fit in there?
You take that or not?
We could.
And that's China.
With a kitty cat, with a dog.
I waited quite a while for that one.
That's amazing.
You know, to get composed. And
Looks like you're getting more indigenous on this side.
Yeah.
This guy really looks. It's amazing.
that's the one that Kay has.
All right. What was the story with that one?
Hmm?
She called your attention to it?
Yeah, this is a still life.
Yeah, that's an exceptional picture.
Didn't you passed it by and she called your attention to it or something?
Yeah, we were together on the second floor of a house and just looking through. Those are net menders, they're mending nets in Nepal.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
that's a good one.
Morocco.
You like that photo?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do you?
Now then, you know, I don't know if you'd call those indigenous or not. They're the people that live there.
Yeah.
Always have.
Right.
But, you
They
know.
probably are indigenous, right, by
I
some...
mean, am I indigenous of America? Yes, I suppose.
That's a good one.
I love the composition of this.
And that's 3 generations, right?
Yeah.
You want
So that one, yeah.
Okay. Now, I'd say we folks are not clearly not indigenous because we can trace our roots to elsewhere.
Yeah.
If the people are truly from that place.
Yeah, so I'd have
And
to be an Indian to be. That's China.
You like that?
Yeah, do you think that, yeah, that,
Definitely. Now, look, we're going to have a lot. How many are you wanting to select?
Well, we can resort them.
Right.
well, it depends how big the venue is, you know. That one I like.
Just have a major show if they just your dad stuff. Tons of it.
I think take out what you have, what you think, and then you can resort them. This is, everybody thinks these are, it'll be a hell of a picture that these are 4 guys, but actually it's selling these things, they're hosts with these on.
Right. As opposed to Yasser Arafat and his buddies.
Well, that one for sure.
Yeah.
Madonna.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of these ones.
You're gonna have a real
So you
sort of-
you shot that in India when you were 79, right?
Yeah.
When I took care of Mother?
What is the year? Does it say?
No. This is India.
You should put dates on.
Yeah, I usually do. That's India.
Yeah, that one. Want that one?
You want that one?
You might want that one.
Yeah.
That's a leper.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. You're gonna have a real sorting job. Because we're getting into the indigenous, truly indigenous now. A lot of those really aren't.
Yeah, who is that? Is that New Guinea?
That's New Guinea.
Yeah. See how totally African the people look?
That's Ecuador.
No, what about that one?
That's Lisbon.
That's beautiful.
This is a still life from Morocco.
Beautiful.
This is Nepal. He's building a door.
Cargo, yeah.
This is Thailand. I like that, all that's going on here.
Yeah. Look at that, Connie.
Yeah. Does that work for indigenous? Probably not.
Probably not, although who knows how long those folks have been there, right?
So this is India.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Here's a couple that really are pretty good. That's
That one, yeah.
That's from Gujarat. Those are the camel people.
Does that
And
have
this
a
guy
date?
is
No,
that
those are
also.
ones I signed. Yeah, that.
Whether you want them or not, I don't know. But, whoops.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
good.
no
one.
date. Put the date on the back even.
Yeah, you should put the date on them.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Great.
You think that was 79?
You were 79.
Oh,
When it was when I took care of Mother, wasn't it?
well, that was 79 and 99. That's the year she died, huh?
No, but the year, you were 79.
Yeah, but I was 79 and 99.
Oh, well then you were 78.
This is one I really like.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look how he's glaring.
It's in India. And an indigenous giraffe.
Yeah, that's Cougar Park. And that's New Guinea.
I would say that is a
I
difference.
mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty indigenous.
Yeah, it's totally.
Where's the guy with the shield? The New Guinea guy.
Yeah, is it down there?
I
No?
don't think so.
We're doing a house inspection, you can.
Oh.
Yeah.
from him.
I contract with her, of course, what goes around goes around. Back before the thing hit California, I contracted with her to sell the house for what I paid for it, plus originally, plus everything I have in it, and, you know, remodeling expenses and all that. It comes out about $300,000. In the meantime, and that was all it was worth, period, because I paid $230 for it. In the meantime, it's exploded in value. So then the question is, how do I turn it over to her without paying a gift tax on the difference between what I contracted to sell it to her for and what it's worth today?
So we've got all kinds of strategy for that, once I get divorced.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think that's horribly complicated. All you need to do is sell it to her for whatever price you want to and let a little grass grow on it and nobody will ever know. And it's as easy as that. But you gotta be able to finance it and all of that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, but suppose it's suppose I sell it to her for $300, which is everything I have in it, and it's worth $400. What about the $100,000?
Who knows?
Well, but both McMurtry and my accountant say, oh, yes, that's a gift tax, you gotta pay a gift tax on that.
Fuck 'em. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
That-
That is bullshit. I mean, McMurtry might be trying to make your estate fair. And as
Well,
long
yeah,
as Judy and I are saying that that's fine, then trust me on this one. You just sell it to her for $300,000 and file the deed and all of that and drive on. I mean, you know, so she screwed you over. I mean,
But the problem is she's family. If it were non-family, that's right. I mean, I was just stupid. I sold a valuable house for $300,000, but it's in the family, then they get uppity about it.
I think
They gotta discover
listen
it.
to what I said, which is do it as soon as you can and let grass grow on it and nobody will ever know. I mean, if that were done, if you were on your deathbed,
What do you mean by
Yeah,
grass
oh, yeah.
growing?
if
Let
you were
the
on your
time.
deathbed
Yeah.
and you did that transaction, it would get looked at if
So
they
fast.
audited the
Yeah.
estate, it'd get looked at it. But if you did it next year and you died 5 years or 10
Yeah.
years from now,
There's a period of time, actually, that they look,
yeah,
that
and,
the IRS
That
looks
you're
very
divesting
closely.
yourself.
yeah, I mean, it's.
And Medicare and
it's a-
Medicaid, everybody will look, depending upon what happens. But it's a 5-year period. It used to be 3 years, and I think it's now a 5-year
and
period
it'd be unlikely.
for
even if
divesting
they-
yourself of assets in order to avoid estate taxes or to qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, excuse me, those kinds of things, so.
But there'd be very, very little chance that,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's one is in the category of worth the risk. In other words,
Yeah.
you go ahead and sell it to her. And if 3 years from now, they audit it, which there's just no chance they're gonna do, you go, well, I thought it was all it was worth was 300,000, you know, I didn't know. And they say, well, you know.
And they won't even know if there's not been an appraisal done on the place. It's just a market.
Come here.
But I'm gonna do it as soon as I get a divorce agreement
No,
signed.
No, you can't.
And we can't even have a written contract.
No,
It's entirely oral and deniable.
right, no, but we don't.
But I just wanted you guys to be aware of
I
what's
understand.
Look at
going
this
on.
bag.
On the board.
Just, you know, hardly see your hand from your face.
Right.